Want to create those smooth, clean, Apple-style UI animation in After Effects? You are in the right place. This is the part 1 and we are going to create one of my UI animation videos step by step. All the files and assets link is in the description below, and let's dive in. First thing first, we're gonna start by collecting our files for the video. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take a screenshot of the sky token in the video. Then we're gonna go to ChatGPT, import this image and type create a Memoji from this image for us. He gave us this result which looks so much cartoony, so we're gonna just tell him to generate a similar one to iPhone Memoji. Now this result looks better, so we're gonna keep it. Now we're gonna look for iOS keyboard animation. I told him to show me how I can make that, so he gave me the tips or the steps. Then I asked him, is there any template to use? I tried this GitHub one and it looks so much better, so I'm just gonna use it. The next thing we're gonna look for is the Apple Intelligence UI. So just search for this, and in the result you can open the Apple official website, or you can search for images here. I'm just gonna use the ones that has the best quality possible. After that, we're gonna look for Apple Image Playground UI. So we're gonna do the same thing. We search for this in the Apple official website or in the App Store if you can find it, and make sure that the quality of the image is the best and the highest possible, so it looks better when you edit it. Next up, we're gonna look for the same thing, Apple Image Playground, but the blob animation. Here I found this project from Modifies, which has the same animation, so we're just gonna download it. And last thing, we're gonna search for export as image generator. We open this website, then here we're gonna remove the second title by typing space in the keyboard. Then we're gonna download it. And with that being said, let's start with the tutorial. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna start by creating our composition. So let's make it 1080 by 1920. Then we're gonna import our footage. We're gonna scale it and position it like this. Then here we can cut the video here and move the second part a bit further in the timeline. Next we're gonna import our iOS keyboard project file. As you see here, it has these two additional, we can just remove it. We're just gonna keep the text and the keyboard. Then, as you see in my video, the keyboard color is a bit white and yellow gradient, so we're just gonna edit it. So let's go in this comp, then just add 4 color gradient effects and the background, and just follow me here. Let's try to reduce the opacity so it looks a bit better. Then as you see here, the buttons are white and the text color is black, so we're just gonna select one text, then click on this red button here, then select label group, so it will select all the text layer in this comp. Then we're just gonna change the color here from white to black. We're gonna do the same for the square in the background, so select just one, then here select label group. Just one thing, as you see here, this button here is blue, so we just press shift on the keyboard and press on it or select it, so it deselect from the all selection. Then go to fill and change the color to white. Then we're gonna adjust some things like this blue color here. We're gonna change it to blue, and the text of the space here, if you can change it from the top menu here, just go to the layer here, then content, then the group, then fill, then here you can change the color to white and uncheck the stopwatch. Then we're gonna change the text here to space. I'm gonna center it. Then here, as you see, the text color is white, so we're gonna change it, but it's not a text layer, it's shape layer. So we're gonna move in the right menu here, select the corresponding group layer and change the fill color to black. We're gonna do the same for these two buttons here. And here we're gonna customize it by adding done text here. So just copy this, change the color and position it. Now we have our keyboard ready. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna select the text layer and the typewriter animation, and we're gonna move them down here. Let's see how it looks. Wait, we're just gonna drop the comp at our main comp first, just like that. We're just gonna scale it a bit, then we're gonna position it. Nice. Next up, we're gonna change the text here to whatever we want. Then we're gonna add linear wipe effects here to the keyboard. Then we're gonna follow the settings and adjust the feather so it looks something like this. Next up, we're just gonna change the opacity of the background here, so Now this looks good. Next up, we're gonna add our search bar or that search bar animation. So as you see, it's in this image here. So just gonna cut it out using the rectangle rounded tool. If you want to change the roundness, you can do this by scrolling out the wheel in the mouse. Now we need to remove this text here. So how are we gonna do it? You're gonna go to clean up picture, then we're gonna drag and drop our image, then here we're gonna zoom a bit and you're gonna draw over the text so it will auto remove from the image. Then we're gonna remove this Apple Intelligence logo so we can just add it later. Then you're gonna download the image. You're gonna go ahead to After Effects again, then you're gonna draw it. If you had this error like me, you need to convert it from JPG to PNG file. Then import it again. Then we're gonna do the same steps again, cutting out the search bar, position it and scale it a bit. Then here as you see the text is a bit over the search bar, so we're just gonna adjust it and lower it a bit below. Nice. Now we're gonna change the color to black so it blends well. You can adjust the text, like make it a bit smaller and change the font maybe. Then next up you're gonna add the Apple Intelligence UI logo. So you're just gonna search for it and you can import it and adjust the position of it like this. You can animate it and make it slide from the left. And to add the bouncing animation, I use this Bouncr plugin which is free. I'll put the link down below for you to get it and it will bounce like this. Cool. As you see, we want this logo to be shown just in that box, so we're gonna duplicate the search bar and we're gonna hide it. Then we're gonna select the logo and the search bar and link them with trackmark to the duplicated one. So the logo will be visible only through that search bar layer. The next thing we're gonna adjust now is the speed of the typewriting animation. Modify it by selecting this control layer here and we're gonna move the speed slider to the left. Let's make it around 2. We're gonna adjust the text a bit more here. We have this click animation on the down button. So how are we gonna do it? We're gonna go inside the comp, then we're gonna select the text layer and we're gonna link it with the shape layer. Then we're gonna add scale keyframe. We're gonna add scale keyframe right here. Then we're gonna move 10 frames forward. Then we're gonna add another keyframe. Then we're gonna go in the middle keyframe. We're gonna change the value to something around 80. Then select all layers and ease them. As you see, we have a click animation. Next up, we're gonna add a deep glow to the shape layer of the button. Then we're gonna go to the middle keyframe. We're gonna add a radius keyframe from the deep glow. We're gonna move back 10 frames and make it back to 0. And we're gonna move the last keyframe and make it 0 too. So it looks like this. Last, we're gonna add the click UI animation which has as template. I will put it with the project file in the link down below. So we're just gonna drop it. Then we're gonna import it right here. We're just gonna adjust it and move that shape layer a bit. Position it here. Then we're gonna add the fade in out effect. So it fade in and fade out. So it looks a bit cleaner. Nice. Then we're gonna adjust the position or the timing of the animation. So we're gonna add slide up animation of that keyboard at the keyframe of the position. We're gonna move back at the beginning and drag it down. So it slide in just like that. Then copy my graph here. Next up, we're gonna move that search bar and the Apple Intelligence logo, the iOS keyboard comp. We're gonna pre-compose it and move it lower here. Now this looks better. Next up, we're gonna add a position and scale keyframe of the footage and make sure that the anchor point is up here. Now let's move to this keyframe here of the iOS keyboard. Let's scale it down and move it a bit to the right. Make sure to copy the same graph for these keyframes too. We're gonna just adjust the speed of the typewriting a bit. Next up, you're gonna add this black background and blob animation to the video. So we're gonna drop this image here, then we're gonna scale it, then we're gonna move it below the iOS keyboard. Then we're gonna select the rectangle tool and we're gonna mask out this button here and this one too. Add solid layer, then we're gonna add the fill effect and make sure to change the fill color to the black. Then we're gonna add the blob, so just drop it. It doesn't look good, so we're just gonna download it again, but this time we're gonna make sure that the background is set to black. We change it from here and we're gonna download it again. Now let's import it again, scale it, and now as you see this looks much better. Then we're gonna move on the timeline here. Then we're gonna add a slide out animation of the iOS keyboard. So you can add a position keyframe for the keyboard, then you're gonna move about 20 or 30 frames and you're gonna scale it back down, or just we're gonna copy the first keyframe. That animated blob will scale and it will move to the middle of the screen. So we're just gonna add scale and position keyframes, move it down below, and you're gonna scale it a bit like this. Make sure to add the same graph here so it looks smooth. We're gonna add fade in and out so it fades out smoothly. Here let's add position keyframes, move back at the beginning and slide them out the screen, and make sure to add the bounce expression here. We're gonna duplicate one of the buttons. We're gonna remove all the keyframes and the position, and we're gonna remove the mask too. We're gonna move it a bit higher. We're gonna mask out these elements here. After that, we're gonna select them all, and you're gonna hit P on the keyboard to open the position. You're gonna add the first keyframe here, move back at the beginning and move them out the scene as you want. Then select them all and add the bouncing expression. And to make it looks even better, you're gonna select these 5 circles here. Then we're gonna shift them by the same direction, so you can do it easily by going to the motion tools. And make sure you're selecting this icon here and the offset is set to 3. Then press the sequence button here. So it looks like this. We're just gonna move all the animation bit earlier. Next up, we're gonna add our Memoji. We're gonna scale it down a bit. Then you're gonna select the animated blob, and you're gonna select the ellipse tool and draw a mask. Then hit M on the keyboard to open the mask settings and choose subtract. Then hit F on the keyboard to open the feather. Then increase it a bit. Let's make it around 23. Then we're gonna bring our Memoji back here and move it below the blob. Next up, you're gonna scale it down. Then select the animated blob layer and duplicate it. Then move it below the Memoji. Then we're gonna select the mask from subtract to add. Then select the Memoji and we're gonna make it visible through that blob. So we're gonna link it from here with the layer below. Next up, as you see up here, there is empty space. We're just gonna decrease the feather a bit, and we can add solid layer and mask it out through that blob layer too. You can adjust it too, and we can remove the white color from our Memoji by adding linear color key effect. Then from the key color here, select white. Now this looks better. We're gonna select both layers and pre-compose them. You're gonna move them a bit earlier, and you can add fade in out effects too. You can remove the fade out. As you see, the animation stop here, so just gonna go in the comp and you're gonna select the animated blob layer and right click it, go to time and freeze on last frame. And here you're just gonna adjust it a bit. Next, you're gonna add some buttons or elements here to the scene. So select the rounded rectangle tool and draw this shape, adjust the roundness a bit and decrease the opacity. Then we're gonna add the text layer and centralize it. If we try to add a stroke, it will be the same opacity as the main shape layer. So how we gonna fix that? We're gonna set the opacity to 100 again, go to content, rectangle, open the fill and stroke, make sure the fill value is set to something around 50 and add a stroke, and we can change the opacity of the stroke and make it around 60. We're gonna add these elements here too. So we're just gonna draw a circle and add the text layer, duplicate it, or duplicate this one and add the minus, type minus from keyboard, then just adjust it and centralize it. Next up, you're gonna add this boxing gloves animation. So we're just gonna draw a shape layer here. Let's make it white. Centralize the anchor point, and you can add the gloves emoji. You can search for it on the internet. Just make sure it's PNG. Then scale it a bit, and you're gonna flip it to the other side. Then you're gonna duplicate element and move it to this place here. Now we need to get the gloves to be visible only through that circle. So how are we gonna do it? We're gonna select that circle, then we're gonna duplicate it, then we're gonna hide it, and we're gonna select all the layers, the gloves and the shape layer, and mask them out through that below shape layer. But as you see here, that up part of the gloves, it's not visible. It needs to be out of the mask. So we're just gonna adjust that mask. So go to the ellipse and the ellipse path and convert to Bezier path. then hit G in the keyboard or select the pen tool. Then you can add a point here and another point here, and we're just gonna increase the size of the shape layer so the gloves it will be full visible. You can adjust a bit here. Next up, you're gonna add scale and rotation animation for the gloves. So add scale and rotation keyframes, move back and scale it down, and add the bounce expression, and do the same for the rotation too. Make sure to move the anchor point below here. And don't forget to add the bouncing expression. Then we're gonna add scale animation for that element on the top right. So just scale it, add scale keyframe and move back and scale it down to 0. Then add a bouncing expression. Here we're gonna add slide to the left animation for the text. Then pre-compose all the layers and add a fade in and out effect. And we're gonna add a wiggle position effect to it. We're gonna do the same for the gloves here. Then you're gonna add a text layer and type ourselves on it. Change the font, scale it a bit, and move it right here. I'm just gonna add a slide up animation using a preset that I have. You can make it your own using the animator from the text layer. Now I complete designing or positioning the elements of our scene. Now we're gonna move to the next scene. So just gonna design our scene by creating those strokes layers. Just follow me up here. Then you're gonna select them all, and using the trim path plugin here, you're just gonna click in this button here, and it will add a trim path animation automatically. You're gonna stretch out the animation of the middle shape layer, and you're gonna change the color now. So you're just gonna add a gradient ramp effect, and this change the colors to green and green shades here. Then copy that gradient effect and apply it to all the layers. After that, you can add a bevel and emboss effect, or as if you have Shadow Studio plugin, I'm just gonna add a rim light effect. Then select one of the shape layers and add deep glow or a normal glow if you don't have the plugin. Then copy that deep glow effects and apply it to all the shape layers. Then you're gonna draw that horizontal line here. You're gonna change the stroke value to something around 10 and select it and go here and search for dashes. Press this plus icon here, then change the first value as you want. The animated circle, so we're gonna just draw it. You can decrease the stroke. You're gonna make sure that it is at the same level at that horizontal line. You can even link up that line with it. You're gonna do it later, but first now you're gonna animate it. So add a position keyframe when that stroke is fully animated. Then move back at the beginning and move it out down here. Then we're gonna copy this graph. Then you're gonna link up that horizontal line with it. Now select it and select the ellipse tool. Make sure to check the mask option here, so it masks out. Then draw a mask and press F on the keyboard and increase the feather. You can reduce the opacity too. You can change the stroke too. Then we're gonna cut out the shape layer of that horizontal line when the circle comes around the middle of or the quarter of the distance. Then add a fade in out effects to it. Now it looks good. Now we're gonna add this counter text here. So let's add text layer. Then we're gonna add num preset. I'll put it in the link down below so you can get it for free. Change the value of the numbers here to 200. Move it around to this place. Change the font to dotted one. You can download this font for free. Change the color. Add deep glow effect to it. Then we're gonna add a keyframe for the number here. Then move back at the beginning, or when that horizontal line starts fading in, then move it back to 100. But as you see, the text isn't moving, so easy is the keyframes and link the text layer with that horizontal line layer. Then cut it out and add the fade in out effects to it. Then you can add that percentage symbol, so you can select it from the symbol options here. Then you can adjust as you want. Next up, this easy part, so I'm just gonna add text and adjust the color and the size of it. Add a quick slide up animation for it from my own presets. need to add that Xbox achievement animation to it, so we don't have much space. So we're just gonna increase the height of the composition. So press Ctrl K or Command key from the keyboard, then adjust the high value here. Then we're gonna import our Xbox PNG achievement PNG here, move it up here. Then we're gonna select the ellipse tool and cut out that trophy. Make sure the anchor point is at the middle and move it and center it. Here let's add a scale keyframe and move back 10 frames and scale it to 0. And select both keyframes and easy ease the keyframes. Then we're gonna duplicate that layer and select the below layer and uncheck the scale option and change the mask option to subtract. Then we're gonna type our text and position it right here. You can add typewriting animation to it. Then we're gonna add a position keyframe for the trophy layer and move 10 frames and slide it to the left. Select both keyframes and easy ease them. You can copy my graph here. Next up, you're gonna link the text layer with that green rectangle below it. Then let's move it right here when the animation ends. Let's adjust it a bit. Then select the text layer and the shape layer below him and move them to the left. Let's move the mask for now. Then we're gonna select the both layers, pre-compose them, then press M on the keyboard to open a mask path. Put the first keyframe here, then move to the beginning of the animation and select the mask and move it to the left right here. Then open the position of the first keyframe here, move it to the end of the animation, then move this comp at the center of the scene like this. Make sure to ease the animation. As you see here, it needs a bit of improvement, so you're gonna go inside that comp, then you're gonna select this trophy and subtract it so we remove it from the whole comp. Select all the keyframes and easy ease them. Then we can adjust the position keyframe here. You're gonna go inside this comp here. We're gonna select that achievement layer, duplicate it and remove the mask and add a fill color to it. Then just change the color to green. And now we can bring back that position keyframe. Now this looks cool. We can adjust the feather so it looks more cleaner, as you see here. Then select all the layers and pre-compose them and add deep glow effect to it. You're gonna add like a bouncing and shining animation to it. So make sure that the anchor point is in the middle of that achievement animation. Move 10 frames and add a rotation and radius from deep glow effect keyframes. Then press U on the keyboard to open all the to show all the keyframes. Then move forward 10 frames and make another keyframes and do the same again. And then go back to the first keyframe of the deep glow and make the radius 0 and do the same at the last keyframe too. But for the rotation, go to the middle keyframe and change the value to something around 10. Then select both keyframes and add a bounce expression to it, so it looks something like this. You can adjust the bouncing and increase it or decrease it a bit. Now this looks good. Then we're gonna bring it a bit earlier. Then uncheck this solo option so we can see all the layers with the first scene too. We finished creating the first and the second scene and animating them. So select all the layers of the second scene and pre-compose them. Then as you see here, when we moved back to the main comp, we see that the dimension got changed. So we're just gonna bring them back to 1080 by 1920. As you see here, the elements move out of the scene. That Memoji slide down and it's fade out too. So we're gonna select all those elements, press P on the keyboard, slide them out the scene. Just select slide in animation keyframes, copy them and paste them at the end, then select them again and time reverse them. Now we're gonna remove those two elements, the gloves and this hoop UI box. Let's slide them out and we're gonna move slide out and fade out animation. So we're just gonna change this value to something around 15. As you see, it fade out here. We're gonna do the same for that gloves. So pre-compose it, slide out and out, fade out animation. Lastly, we're gonna slide out this Memoji. So how we gonna do it? You're gonna add a null object and you're gonna link these 3 layers with it. You're gonna add a position keyframe and you're gonna link that text layer with it too. You're gonna move 10 or 20 frames and slide them down. Make sure to ease the keyframes. Just gonna adjust the timing of it. And as you see here, the blob animation is a bit shorter, so we're gonna increase the length of it by increasing the stretch option here. If you can't see it, just right click here on this bar, go to column and select it from here. As you see here, we have smooth transition with a smooth zoom in. So we're gonna smooth out those keyframes. We're gonna move the second scene of our video below the first scene, so we need to move the black background. So let's add a luma key effect and increase the first value. So as you see here, it got removed. And then add a fade in out to it. As you see here, we have the fade in out, but it doesn't fade out, so just gonna manually make it using the opacity keyframes. We have those 2 layers, we're gonna just cut them out. Now we need to add a zoom in on the top animation. So select the second scene and move the anchor point at the top. Then add a position and scale keyframes. Move further in the timeline and increase the scale, and we can move the position a bit so it's smoothly zoomed in like this. We need to adjust some keyframes, so you can take your time adjusting them as you see it fits. Lastly, we're gonna add some source, so let's add some adjustment layers. First is the vignette as usual, but now you're gonna animate that vignette adjustment layer. So add a keyframe for the amount and for the center, then move further in the scene and move the center to the top. So the focus it's like focus and that achievement and that circle. And now as you see here, the transition from the footage to that black background is a bit harsh. So how are we gonna fix it? We're just gonna add fade in out effects to it. Select it, then add fade in out frames. We're gonna decrease the fade in duration. Let's make it something around 5. Now this looks better. I'm just gonna adjust some keyframes and some positioning of the animation so it matches the flow of the video. Now let's see our final result for the video. Now we have finished the first part of creating this animation. See you guys in the next part and peace out.